Is Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday? Ryan Reynolds' social media post spurs fan frenzy. Now this article comes from Deadline again. Now there's a lot of talk about who is going to be in Doomsday, who's not going to be in Doomsday, and all that. We don't know. We know some of the people. I guess we have some assumptions. I guess it's fair to say. We got the chair scroll that showed all the actors as of now. I think there's supposed to be a part 2. I think was the rumor that there's gonna be a part 2 to that. But one person that has not been confirmed is Ryan Reynolds, Doomsday. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, fan favorite, especially after coming out of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is so good. And actually, I need to run that back. But Deadpool has not been confirmed so far for Avengers Doomsday. And he's let out a few tweets lately, and it's kind of getting the conversation stirring about whether or not he will be in this movie. So he posted this, the Avengers logo with an anarchy symbol, for whatever that might mean, and I think that might be it. I guess when they say social media posts, this is all they mean. But he posted this, so that one could assume that he's going to be sort of the outlier within this. It's kind of annoying me that they didn't kind of tilt it to kind of match the A little bit more, but that's just me. But I think there's obviously no doubt with his character now having, coming from the Fox universe, and this new movie having spent some time in the TVA, which I think the TVA is supposed to have. I think the thought is the TVA is supposed to have some kind of foot within Doomsday and within Secret Wars. So he's touched on that. He's touched on the multiverse. We've seen him go to. We see him go to like multiple, like 10 or so, I don't know, 5 to 10 other universes. We see him go to the void. So there's absolutely no reason that a character that now has had a big chunk of his story revolve around the multiverse wouldn't be in a multiversal story. One of the bigger multiversal Marvel stories. So we'll see. I think there's no doubt that this movie is going to perform. I know there's a lot of conversation because how Thunderbolts performed, which I think they pulled in less than 400 million worldwide, which is unfortunate because, like we talked about, it's such a one of the better Marvel movies to come out in a long time. A lot of good word of mouth, a lot of good marketing, just for it to bring in 382 million worldwide gross. So that's unfortunate. And then you have Fantastic Four, which did what, 500? We'll see right now. But also Fantastic Four. I mean, a movie that I think a lot of people thought could be $1 billion movie. I mean, we finally made it to. We finally made it to the Fantastic Four joining the MCU. I mean, it's got Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Backrack, it's got Joseph Quinn, it's got Pedro Pascal, It's hard to see why this movie would fail. And I wouldn't say that it failed, it just underperformed. And it underperformed by only bringing in 442 million worldwide. Fantastic Four, Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Backrack, Ralph Ineson, Julia Gardner, with the writer and creator of WandaVision, Matt Shakman, at the helm, brought in 442 million. Off a budget of 200 million. You factor in with marketing, it's probably closer to 325 million as part of their budget. So they made money. It made money. It just didn't make much money. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Deadpool and whether or not he's going to show up in Doomsday. And I think it's pretty obvious. I think the signs are out there. I think where we left off on Deadpool and Wolverine, I wouldn't be surprised if Wolverine makes an appearance. I'm being completely honest. We're getting a lot of set photos. I think there's even there's some Sadie Sink set photos today. We're not going to talk about it today, but I think it just makes sense. Where we left off, Deadpool and Wolverine, The places he's visited, there's a lot of talk that, the Void might actually play a big part in Doomsday. Maybe that'll be Battle World, or maybe it'll be different universe. Who knows? But I think it makes sense. I think it's kind of like obvious that he will. I think it's obvious that he'll take part in that. So we'll see.